Hello everybody, and today will be a Scratch game tutorial. I will be showing you how to make sort of a game where you avoid zones sort of things. So basically a game that is similar to this that I have created beforehand. This is going to be part 1 of this entire series, and today we'll only do the basics. So I've created a new project, and then first off we're gonna delete the sprite 1, and then we're gonna create a new object and then new sprite, and then name this a player. Now for the player, you can do any shape you want, but I am just going to draw a 4x4 yellow square. So something like this. If I turn off the outline, just a quick tip: if you hold down Alt while drawing, Alt and Shift while drawing, it is going to make a perfect square. Now I can just resize this and turn this to yellow and make sure to center this. This is very important, centering this. Actually, I like a little bit lighter color, yeah. For the first code, for when green flag is clicked, we are going to hide, or not really hide. You can do this if you want, but this is just my preferred method. So I'm just gonna do hide, and then we're gonna create a few variables. Delete my variable. So we are going to create a new variable called player speed for all sprites. We're also going to create player lives, and we're gonna also create a score. And we're gonna set player speed to something like 7. Then we're gonna set player lives to whatever you want. I like to do 20. And then we're gonna set score to 0. We're gonna hide all of this, and we're going to point in direction 90 and go to x0, y0. Just to assure you, we're not actually going to rotate this, but there can be a little bit of bugs when you load in, so we're just making sure that it isn't really rotated in any way. So we're gonna do show again. Now we're going to do the player movement script. So I like to keep things clean, and I'm going to create a new custom block called player movement. And make sure to not run without screen refresh. This is very important. Otherwise, it will not show moving. And now we're gonna do a forever loop, and we're gonna call player movement. So in player movement, if key W is pressed, then we're gonna change Y by player speed. And we're gonna duplicate this. We're gonna change this to S. We're gonna grab and multiplication, and here we put -1, and we're gonna change Y by player speed times -1. So we're gonna move our player down by player speed amount. So we're gonna do the same thing, but instead of change Y, we change X. So we're gonna change this to D, and we're gonna change this to A. So we do this, we do this, and this is the player movement finished. Next, we're gonna check if the game has ended. So if the players died, if player lives equals 0, for now we're gonna just stop all. Now we're gonna create the zone. So the main point. We're gonna rename this right to zone, and I'm gonna draw a circle. Just a regular circle. I'm gonna resize this to how I like. $30 should be enough. And then I'm gonna change it to red. And we're gonna duplicate this. We are going to make a text, and we're gonna write plus and then the amount you want for your point. So 5 for me. And we're gonna center this. Right now we can't really see the text, so we're gonna change the brightness to 0. Now you can see really clearly, but I am going to change this color to orange to make it less vibrant. Now we're gonna duplicate this. I'm just gonna make all of the things that I want, and then I am going to change the color for each of those differently. This is just, you can change all of this what you want. Actually, you can do whatever you want with this. I'm gonna create a +5 +10 times 2 times 3, and then I am going to create 2 +1 life and +2 life. For the heart, we are going to go to the costumes tab, and we're gonna search for heart. And we're gonna change this, just this, and we're gonna remove the outline, and then we're gonna resize this. Then we're gonna hit Control and X. Now remove this, then we do Control V, and then you can resize this again. Now you can delete the heart red costume, and then I'm gonna do this. Now, if you are able to change, if you draw all of your costumes, now going to the code tab, and then when green flag clicked, we do hide. Now make sure you do hide, and we're gonna set size to 100%. and we are going to do a forever loop. And this is going to be a little bit untidy, so we're gonna wait 1 second and we're going to go to X. We're going to get a plus operator, X position of player. So what you do is drag a backdrop number of stage and then change the stage to player. Now you have the X and Y position. So we're going to go to X position of player, and plus a random amount from 100 to minus 100. So basically what I want to do is creating a circle. Let's say the player is here, spawning one of those zones in a circle which radius is 100 pixels from the player, just so anywhere. So we're gonna do the same thing for the Y, only we're gonna change the Y position of player. Now is the part where you can customize all of this. So if pick random from 1 to 30 for me, so this is the rate how common these certain things spawn. Also, I'm just gonna change this if also. This is 1, and then we're gonna switch costume to costume 7. And we're gonna do the same thing and just change the rates and the costumes. So now you do whatever you want with those rates. I'm just gonna make it to the same to the one I made prior. Seven, and then so for the final else statement, you just put costume 1. Now we are going to create clone of myself, and then we're gonna put this giant thing in the forever loop. Now we're gonna put when I start as a clone, we're gonna show, but we are going to set the ghost effect to 100. So it is technically gonna still show up, but it's going to be invisible. And we're gonna repeat how many times you want. So let's say repeat and just a random amount of time. So don't do this. I just creating this for demonstration purposes. What? Okay. That's weird. Hold on a second. Yeah. So just what you're gonna do is you're gonna put a certain number, and then we're gonna change ghost effect by 100 divided whatever number you put in here. Oh, minus 100 divided whatever you put in here. I'm sorry. So for me, it's going to be minus 5. And I'm gonna change size by whatever you want, but don't make it too high. I'm gonna choose 25. And now is the most annoying part of this. And we're gonna pull up an if else statement. If costume name equals costume 1, or you can just also do costume number equals 1. Costume number equals 1. Then if we're touching the player sprite, we're going to want to damage it. So we're gonna change player lives by -1. Oh, if touching player. If else, so if we're not touching the player, we're gonna change score by 1. And then we're gonna want to delete this clone. And in the else, we just do the same thing. If costume name, number, equals 2. We're just basically doing the same thing over and over again. And because my costume number 2 is +5, I can change. Oh, oops. Player lives by -1. Now, if we're touching player after the 1 minute, we're gonna change player score by 5. Now keep this in else, just so you don't have to change out for all of those else in later date. Now duplicate this, do the same thing. We're gonna change score by 10. Now you might be wondering, how do we do multiplication? Well, we can pull up a multiplication symbol. We're gonna just set score to score times 2. So this is going to multiply the score by 2. And just make sure this number is what you want. Oh, make sure to change this to score. Now we're gonna go back to changing player lives by 1. Yeah. And 7, we're gonna change player lives by 2. Now below all of that, we are going to delete this clone. We can actually test this. So save, and then going in. Now we can actually show this lives and score as we go on. So notice how if you're in the red when it disappears, if I can actually get in the red, it takes away one of your lives, and the scoring works just as fine. So this is where we are going to end off the first episode. This is going to be a series, and for this channel, the video is going to be uploaded once in 2 weeks. Now the next video is going to be related to math, and it's going to alternate between math and coding. So see you in whatever video I make next.